Like my father taught me, I hate rich people. Why? Because they only get there on the shoulders of the little guy. I saw this union guy, president of a union, auto workers union. His t-shirt is "Eat the Rich." And he said, I hate rich people. Hate it. But he's got about $1 million in his 401k,
right,
or $2 million. He's probably making $500,000 a year, but he gets their votes by telling them how bad he hates the rich guy. Yeah. We're gonna take care of them, and rich people are never hurt because you don't like them.
All right, welcome everybody to today's episode of the Freedom Formula podcast. My name is Josh Payne. I'm your host here, and we have with us today a very, very special guest, a true legend in the financial industry for over 50 years, the great Bill Orender. Bill's influence has reached the homes of hundreds of thousands of families across the United States. As one of the 85 original members of the A.L. Williams Company, founded in 1977, Bill became the 9th regional vice president and the first expansion broker outside of the state of Georgia. Bill has consistently earned for years well over $1 million a year passively in his business, holds the prestigious recognition of Circle of Champions within our company, and is a prolific author of 3 published books. His last one, A.L. Williams, Changed My Whole Life, and has his next book coming out, his 4th book, in the next 60 days. And I'm incredibly fortunate and honored to call him a mentor and a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome the great Bill Orender. Bill, it is a pleasure and an honor to have you on here this morning.
Well, Josh, thank you. I don't take it, as I said earlier, for granted that people want to hear what I have to say, because I'm very passionate about it, and I'm very radical about the subject we're going to be talking.
There you go. I lost you for a second there, Bill. So if we can go back, you're very passionate about the subject, and maybe just restate what you had mentioned.
Yes, I'm very passionate, Josh, as you know, about the subject of money, having money, accumulating money. Because it is a well-worn negative to have money and accumulate money. And people are hurting because they've gotten bad information and bad mentoring, as you're saying, have a wrong philosophy about money.
Yes, and I think that perhaps when somebody first clicks on this or sees the title of this interview here, it's going to spark some feelings inside of them about the subject of money. Just talk to me about what you have kind of witnessed about the way people look at money, and then we'll jump into sort of the evolution of your mindset towards it, and perhaps where you started and where you've come to today.
Well, I think that every one of us have been mentored by the wrong people, broke people, that have, in their minds, piously created a psychology, a consciousness of being broke and being humble about it. And so all of us have gone through, there's got to be more to life than money. How much is enough? You can't take it with you. The money's from the devil, the almighty dollar. And, people have been bred and disturbed psychologically because money is a taboo subject. No one talks about it. There's less talked about money than there is sex. And that's a subject you never want to bring up with friends. You don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics. Well, people won't talk about money either. And everybody, like myself, came from a family that, in my family, my dad and mom were both came from the Depression. And mom and dad were both factory workers. They both literally worked in a factory up on the south side of Chicago. And they hated rich people because the mindset is rich people got there on the backs of the working man. You hear that in politics today. They got their shtick. And so I grew up fighting the urge. I liked making money because I liked having my independence from them. And so early. I mean, I started accumulating money early on. I had paper route from age 11 to age 17. Every morning I'd get up at 5 o'clock in cold Chicago mornings and deliver newspapers. You don't do that anymore. But I like the feeling, and the founder of our company, as you know, built the whole company on not having anybody's thumb on you financially. And so, Josh, I really got passionate about making and accumulating money. And like everyone else, I got into credit card debt because I got a job right out of college, like everyone else. And the job didn't pay me enough. And so I started using my credit cards as another source of income. And I started feeling the humiliation of using credit cards, having credit card debt. And it was something out of going with the wind. As God is my witness, I'm never going to be broke again. I decided I'm going to start making money. I don't care what anybody said. And so I started learning through our company, through Art Williams, the founder of our company. He was a great teacher about money accumulation and had becoming financially independent. And because he said either you're financially independent or you're dependent financially. And most people go through life not trying to accumulate money. So they end up accumulating debt. You go to church, every time you go to church, not every time, but you're going to go to a lot of churches. And they're going to talk about the evils of money and watch out about the evils of money and make too much money, you go to hell and all that stuff. Well, they don't teach about the evils of credit card debt and debt loads, because the pastor get debt up to his eyeballs. And it's noble to talk about not having money. You can ruin money. Money's the ruination of the world. But no one ever talks about that. Right now, student loans. My gosh, what these colleges are doing to students and parents, allowing it. And parents even taking on the debt load of the kid. Right. $1.6 trillion of student loans out there. And what do these kids do? They're begging the government to pay off their student loans. So I got to work harder. I got to work longer to pay more taxes so that the government can get votes. Buy vote. They're buying votes. Saying, vote for me and I'll pay off your student loans. That's a good deal. I'm voting for you. And they promise to pay off debt. And, you know, colleges are increasing their tuition by 8% per year, charging $300 for a book. They have no conscience regarding sticking people with debt. And buy a big house with a big car, debt. And like I say, like to say in our business, this is the only place in the world, Josh, where you can make big money and no one has to get into debt for you to make your money. Other than that, everybody has to get into debt for people to make their money. So right. I'm very rabid about this, and it's very important that people get this message.
Wow. So it sounds like the introduction and the environment that Art created started to change, started to be the catalyst of change for you in the way you looked at money, the way you it sounds like the desire was there, but you started to realize sort of what we've been programmed about money, and then how we needed to not only we had to unlearn everything and reprogram ourselves successfully. Talk to me a little bit about that, how that transformed for you.
Well, again, too, it's a lifelong process of undoing the wrong that's been done to us by these incorrect philosophies. And the process was, I read a book called Think and Grow Rich, and I have it right in front of me. And he's very specific. And when he talks about how, he says here, poverty is attracted to the one whose mind is favorable to it, as money is attracted to him whose mind has been deliberately prepared to attract it. Poverty consciousness will voluntarily seize the mind which is not occupied with a money consciousness. And which means this: if you're not thinking about money, you're heading for poverty. Not again, most people, I'm not in poverty. Well, if most people if they lost their job, they'd be bankrupt within 6 weeks or 2 months. again, the achievement, the accumulation of money cannot be left to chance, cannot be left to without having almost to the point of being obsessed about it. Making money and accumulating money. You're born in a money game. You're living in a money game. You're going to die in a money game. Nobody knows how to play the game or is even playing the game. And so I went on a journey to become wealthy, not just have money. And there's a big difference there, Josh. Having money, most people, they have money in the bank until they want to buy something, and then the money goes away. And then they accumulate money to buy something else. I wanted to be wealthy. And here's the definition. Most people are afraid of wealth or condemn wealth because they condemn people who want to be wealthy as greedy. A lot of politicians like to use that word. You're just greedy, no good business people, right? And so therefore people shy away from having wealth. And here's what most people think wealth is: cars, clothes, homes, stuff, material things. And they say, how many cars can you have? How many houses? I'm not one of those people, they feel very pious. I'm not one of those greedy people that all we talk about is money. And so I went and worked hard to pursue the mind that it would take, learning and reading books and listening to many seminars on tape. Wealth is not having things. People that want wealth want to have a amount of money off of which they can receive an income so you don't have to work. So if you ask a person, what do you do for a living? If they give you any known occupation, they're not wealthy. If you ask me, what do I do for a living? Well, meaning how do I make my money? I don't have to do anything for it. Like you said, I have 100% passive income off my business that I built over these years, off my investments that I have. I have dividends coming in. I have capital appreciation. I have capital gains coming in, and I've got a net worth off of which I can receive an income without having to work. That's what wealth is. And people that want to make and accumulate money, again, want to be wealthy. And wealthy means no one's got their thumb on me. I can even tell the government to go stick it in their ear. I don't need the government's money. If they increase my taxes, I got plenty. But that was a decision I made years and years and years ago, Josh. And that's what people have to make a decision on now, to create that money consciousness that I'm going to have money, I'm going to accumulate money. And I started setting financial goals for the first time in my life when I got in this business, because the founder of our company did. And I had 3 specific goals when I started. And that was to make $100,000 a year. That's 100. It's like 300. To have $100,000 accumulated in 5 years. And then to be worth $1 million in 10 years. And I hit every one of those. And Josh, the only arguments my wife and I ever had is I was saving too much money. She wanted to start spending some of it, but I set financial goals that when I hit a certain financial goal, then we could buy that dining room set. When I hit another financial goal, then I can buy that pair of shoes. And I never bought a car because I just got infatuated with it. And I love cars are expense items to me. I'm not one of those. And the point is, you can have everything you want from a materialistic standpoint if you're willing to wait long enough so that the money coming in off your investments will pay for all your toys, all your houses and your cars and your trips. It's only about 10 to 15 years of diligence in your life. So I like talking money. I had a mentor and a guy named Bo Adams. Bo Adams was at Ralph Abernathy, if you know who he is. He helped Martin Luther King with the movement. Bo Adams was Art Williams' sidekick in building our company. And he taught me a lot about money along with Art. that you want to be in position of making money. It's kind of like a game. You and I were talking about baseball as a game, and you learn all about the game of baseball, and you learn the nuances of baseball, and you read about baseball. And when I was a kid, I loved baseball like you did, and I got every baseball magazine. The baseball players were my heroes. But now I write everything I can about money, and my heroes are people with money.
Wow.
Here's the difference. Tell me who your heroes are. I keep and accumulate all kinds of information about what these wealthy people have done with their money to help society. And so, and number one, I learned from was a man named Rabbi Daniel Lapin, as you know. He wrote a book called Thou Shalt Prosper that I read, 6, 7 times. I've been to every seminar I could with him. He's become a personal friend. I've gone out to dinner with him. And I learned, Josh, that the Jewish, I'm talking about cultural Jews. I'm talking about the religious Jews that are the truly worshiping the God that we worship. They think different about money than everyone else. Christians do not they're wrong about money. The Jewish people are right about money. So I've studied them, listened to all his, I listened to his podcast. I read his book. I get a weekly letter from him, and he's got this letter that comes out every week. And the Jewish thinking is so radically different than the Christian thinking. The Christian thinking always goes back to you make money so you can accumulate money, so down the road you can help people. And they call that giving back. He's giving back. He's giving back. That thought process, Rabbi Lapin said, started hundreds of years ago when the pirates robbed and stole and got loot. Then they tried to save their souls by buying. They gave money to churches to build cathedrals and all kinds of stuff. They gave it back. So when people say they gave it back, that means you took. But Rabbi Lapin explains the only way you make money is by making somebody's life better.
Right.
And so if you're making money, that means somebody's life is better. So if you see an air conditioning man going down the street in a truck, he's going to make somebody's life better. And his reward for that is money. So, he really went through the barter system and explaining how the old days it was barter. You got corn, I've got wheat. I need corn, you need wheat. Let's exchange. Well, that got cumbersome, and money became a neutral thing where people don't have to want a specific item of exchange. So money came into existence. And how do you make money? You got to make somebody's life better. You got to put time in. You got to, you got to work for 8 hours. You're making that boss's job better. So therefore, he's going to pay you. People don't see money as a reward and a consequence for doing something good. They look at it as a thing that they deserve because they got bills to pay. Hey, I need a raise. Why? Because I got bills to pay. That's why people are unemployed. Unemployed people don't get it. They're chronically unemployed because they go to a job because they need money. And I said, it's very easy to find a job. How? Just go there and say, you hire me, I'll make you money. Or I'll cut your costs. They don't think that way. They go there because they need a job. They got bills to pay, and they don't care about the other guy. And so many people, they end up hating money, like I did for a while. I wish there wasn't anything like money. And so, it's economics, but it's not, like in the political arena right now, it's about the economy. It's never about the economy, Josh. It's about your economy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What are you doing about your economy?
Right.
So these are the things that I learned as I pursued the journey of mastering the art of making and accumulating money and having money. And again, most people's attitude about money is wrong. If you made money, you stuck it to somebody. You tattooed somebody. You hurt somebody. Like my father taught me, I hate rich people. Why? Because they only get there on the shoulders of the little guy. I saw this union guy, president of a union, auto workers union. His T-shirt is "Eat the Rich." And he said, "I hate rich people." Hate it. But he's got about $1 million in his 401k,
right,
or $2 million. He's probably making $500,000 a year, but he gets their votes by telling them how bad he hates the rich guy. Yeah, we're gonna take care of them. And rich people are never hurt because you don't like them.
Wow.
It's never that pursuit.
Wow. It sounds like to me, and this will probably resonate and help people, but it sounds like to me the art of making money is nothing more than a spiritual process, right? In that, I know Rabbi Lapin talks about when you serve people, you serve God because we were put on this planet to serve our brothers and sisters, and that it doesn't have to be something that say, I don't have to work at the church to serve God, but any business that God created business to serve our brothers and sisters and make their lives better. So when I serve people, I'm serving him. So it sounds like to me through that really making money is a spiritual process. And to take it a step further, which I'd love for you to elaborate on, is that making money is nothing more than a certificate of performance for the service I've rendered to make somebody else's life better. And the perspective of, if I lack money, then perhaps I am, we could go as far as say sinning, because I'm not out doing what I'm supposed to do to serve others and make their life better. And therefore my bank account is a reflection of that.
No, you're perfectly right about that. Rabbi Lapin said, if you walk into your office and I see all these plaques and trophies, what am I going to think about? Wow, Josh, it's impressive. You must really be excelling at your occupation. In other words, you're making that company better. You're making clients better. You're helping, like in our business, people make money by becoming a broker. We train them and teach them. So if I see a lot of trophies, plaques, those are indications of your success in doing that. Well, Rabbi Lapin said, if you have money in your pocket and you did not steal it, you earned it by making somebody's life better. So money are certificates of performance for having done a good job for people. And he says, why does it surprise us when a good and loving God rewards us financially for making his children's life better? I've got 4 children, Josh, and 10 grandchildren. And if I got word that you're out there making my children's and grandchildren's life better, I'm going to favor you. And your heart is to help my children, and I'm going to reward you the best I can. And in my mind, the best thing to do is give you money. You've done this. You go to a restaurant, the guy does a great job, you give him a tip. I carry $20 bills around, and my goal is to give out at least 2 or 3 of those a week, finding people in the act of doing something right here. And I love seeing the surprise on their face at a McDonald's when they give me a Diet Coke and I give them a $20 bill. And what's this for? I said, because you did a great job. I'm training them how to serve me better. So next time I go in, they're going to want to serve me better because they know that they're going to be rewarded with it. Years ago, my son, who was now in the business, was struggling in math in high school, and they went to a Christian school, all of my kiddos. And I'm very proud to say they went to a Christian school that we paid for. They graduated with college with no student loans, and they didn't have to pay for a car. That's how I got them started in life. Most people, you talk about your daughter wanting to play ball, and I was thinking, most people want their children to play ball in college so they don't have to come up with any money. They want them to get a scholarship. What is scholarship? Money. And you go to a church and we're going to have an offering. What is that? They want your money. We want you to become a partner with us in this ministry, which means what? We want your money. So, people are funny about all that, but when it comes down to it, they're trying to get free money from a college so they don't have to pay for the education. That's why they want their kids to work hard in playing ball and in studying to get scholarships. So the father and mother don't have to work hard to make them more money to pay for it. Just an aside there. Anyway, so we went to the headmaster of the school, and I said, what do I have to do to get my son doing better in math? He said, it's easy. I said, what? He said, bribe him. I said, bribe him? Well, I'm not supposed to have to bribe my child. He said, well, how's your way working? And the bribe was find out something he wants, and if he gets his grades up, he gets it. And so we found out something he wanted materialistically, and his grades went up because he had to work to get it. God works the same way. I love what Rabbi Lapin said. God does not want us to live in an island unto ourselves, where we don't need anybody, we don't want anybody, I can handle it all by myself. In our world, we need somebody else. We need other people. And God created money to force us to be good to one another. How? If you're not good to somebody else, you're not going to get paid. Like my office manager, I don't know what I pay her, but she's underpaid. But her job every day is to make me good, make my life better, make it my life easier, to serve me, and I pay her for it. And she is an asset to me, just like my investments are assets to me, or my home is an asset to me. But even God works this way, Josh. We don't look at it that way. Josh, would you like to have eternal life? Oh, yes. Then believe in my son, Jesus Christ. That's a bribe. And you'll have eternal life and you'll be in heaven. That's a bribe. And if you got any sense at all, you're going to say, I'm going to take you up on that one.
Right.
And money's the same way. My grandson several weeks ago was visiting with us, and he said, why did you get into the financial services business? And I said, I didn't. I got into the business of making money, and I discovered that the way to make the most money I can make is in financial services. And then he said, well, why did you get into recruiting, building, creating broker business? I said, I didn't. I found out that the way to make the most money and have a passive income is to be a broker and create brokers in our business and industry. There's a wonderful book out that everybody has to read. It's a fundamental book called The Wealth Choice by Dennis Kimbro, Kimbro. And I have the good fortune, I'll be interviewing him in September. I got a connection with him. It's a masterpiece. And now it's got some social, cultural things that he talks about with people, but the fundamentals are there. And he's got one chapter, and he said, it's about the money. And most people love to say, Josh, I'm very successful, but it's not about the money. I love helping people. I love doing this. I love every one of the entrepreneurs and millionaires that he interviewed all said it was about the money. I came here for the money. And I found something that brings great value to people that can change their life. But I did it to make money. And because I did, I kept doing more of it. I started growing it because it's a constant reminder. The more I help people, the more money I make. Like to double your income, finding twice as many people to serve. Like to triple your income, quadruple your income. How would you like to make 10, 15, $20 million a year? Well, I don't need to be, listen to this. I don't need that much money to be happy. Oh, really? What's that about you or helping other people? If you make $1 million a year, you help so many people. But if you make 20 million a year, you're helping 20 times that many. But if you say to yourself, oh, I don't need that much money to be happy, it limits your serve. It limits the amount of people you serve. And in our business, especially, it's our business in the last umpteen years paid 12,000 death claims, Josh. We paid 12,000 death claims. And I got paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to keep me on track to serve those people. Because down the road, every one of our clients will be getting a death claim. I've got 250,000 clients that are retiring one day. And I got paid a lot of money to do that. And one day they're going to be saying, I don't know who it was, but thank God for that guy. And so money is a measurement, it's a dipstick, it's a barometer of your contribution to your fellow man. So you don't have to say, did I make a difference with my life? Well, how much money did you make? Well, it's not about the money. Oh, yes, it is. I don't care who you are. Your money is an indication of the service that you give. I don't care if you're a salaried person working as a school teacher. If they could somehow connect school teaching, making kids' lives better with the money you're making, but they don't. What they do is, we know you're not going to make a lot of money, but that's the price you got to pay to help kids. And by the way, these people that work for nonprofits, yeah, let me tell you, I'd rather have a for-profit company calling on me than a nonprofit because they don't have to perform.
Right.
So money is an indication of your results and your harvest and making other people's lives better.
Wow.
And if people want to hear one day, well done, good and faithful servant, you can look in our business, maybe not every business. There's certain businesses you can't look at, policemen, firemen, military people, school teachers, maybe. You can say, well, they're not being paid what they're worth. And they're probably right. But in our business, and in business in general, it's a definite marker of your contribution to your fellow man. As Rabbi Lappin said, if you're not making the kind of money you want to make, find ways to help more people. Help people means make their life better. Serve your fellow man. That means make their life better somehow. And so that's why when you look at your income, you've got to say, I can do more and I'll be rewarded for it. I'm very proud to say in our company, when people make money, I'm proud they made somebody's life better.
Right.
When somebody goes out and makes a sale, they make $500. I say, congratulations. When are you going to pay that death claim? What do you mean? Because we're in the insurance business. Well, hopefully never. But every policy we write will be a death claim down the road. Every mutual fund we write, one day down the road, that person is going to be saying, thank God someone came into my life and encouraged me and taught me how to accumulate money down the road. Again, so nobody's got their thumb on you.
Wow. Wow. Awareness comes to mind so much when I hear you talk about this subject, because as you and I both agree, this is the opposite of what's taught out there, the environments we're raised in. And so all of a sudden there's this awareness like, wow, there's maybe a different way for me to approach my life, approach my thinking, approach my mindset about money. Maybe I had the wool pulled over my eyes. And if that's the case for somebody, where do they start, Bill? How do they start to develop this thing that just rolls out of your mouth like it's poetry in motion? How does somebody start that may listen to this and go, I better change or I'm not going to have the life I want? Where do they start?
Well, it's like this. Your daughter plays baseball, softball. If you want her to become a better softball player, you need a coach. And you need to send her to camps. And you need to have her trained correctly. And so, unfortunately, there's no training camps for money. So you have to be your own coach. But I recommend people get on a book reading diet of only money books. And I gave you two so far. I mean, I can give you several of them, but The Wealth Choice is a must. one of them, Jen Sincero, wrote a great book, Jen Sincero, Sincero. I'm a Badass at Making Money. Rabbi Lapin's book, of course, as we talked about. I just started another book. Yes, just finished a book about the Jewish thought process on money, and last night I started another one. I like to inundate myself with this thinking because it's my life's work. My life's work is not financial services. I'm in a making money for other people business. I make money for our clients. I make money for our company. I make money for the people that are in our business. And so I recommend every book you read for the next 6 months, you got to read one a month, should be about the concept of money philosophy, whether it's Think and Grow Rich. There's one by it's Thomas Anderson, Becoming a Millionaire God's Way. I mean, there's a whole slew of them, Josh. I accumulated all of them, read all of them. And the more you start thinking about reading about money, the more you do it. The next thing you do, you start getting on a money diet. I tell people this: for the next 90 days, pay cash for everything. Cash all the time. I had an opportunity. I asked people this question, Josh. I won't ask you. How much money do you have on you? And most people go, well, none. I mean, zero. These new age people, zero. And well, how do you buy? Well, I use my debit card. I use my credit card. You see, there's a disconnect when people don't have money. They can't understand money. They can't accumulate it because the mind doesn't understand what money is. It's whatever. It never goes through their hands. And when I worked in a factory years ago, I got paid with a check, and they had what they would call a money exchange. I went there and cashed my check so I can get cash. And we didn't have credit cards in the days and debit cards back in the day. So I saw cash. When I had to, I was making like $100 a week. When I had to spend $25 for something, I saw the pain in that. Ooh, there's nothing left. Right now, people don't understand money. They don't have money. Get out of money, cash, go out to the bank and get yourself, $500 in $20 bills. And you go to a restaurant, pay cash, go into that grocery store, pay cash, buy gasoline. It's a hassle. But I did this, frankly, maybe 15 years ago, I got off cash. All those years, cash. Because I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget the money basis. And so I tell people, how much money do you have on you? And I say, well, nothing. And I said, put $100 in your billfold every month for the next 10 months. So you're always walking around with $1,000. And what does that do? It tells your mind what cash is, what money is. Because most people don't understand what money is. So get on a cash basis for the next 3 months so that money has to go from your pocket into the hand of another person. So you started realizing it, right? Rabbi Dennis Kimbrough says, what's in your head is in your wallet, or what's in your head is in your purse. And I'm extreme. Don't buy anything unless you've earned the right to get it by increasing your net worth.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm a fanatic on this. People laugh at me. I can walk around and show you what I bought, but I had to get a certain net worth before I bought it. I remember I wanted a pair of shoes, Josh. Nope. I got to get my net worth up at least another $10,000. When I get that, I'll buy those shoes. And again, I rewarded myself to buy something after I earned it and had the cash to have it. And so therefore I had to go out there and make somebody's life better. I couldn't say, hey boss, I need a pay raise. right? Or government, pay off my student loans so I don't have any payments. Isn't it funny how people are, they become different people when they want someone else to pay their bills for them? Would you want your children, do you want to pay every one of their bills for the rest of their life, Josh? No, that's not good for them. They got to figure out a way to get that connection. The Jewish people have this, Christian people do not. And it's rampant, by the way, that the Jewish people think, I can make somebody's life better and I'm going to be rewarded for it financially. And that's why if you read any book about the Jewish people, they have a different number of, the wealthiest people in America are Jewish people, percentage-wise. And when I was a kid growing up, I didn't know any Jewish person that didn't have money. But they didn't have money because they were greedy, no good. All they thought about was money. They had money because they put the two and two together. Make somebody's life better, I get money. Want to make more money? Right? And I wanted money, not for buy things, but so no one had their thumb on me. And I'll ask you this question, Josh. You don't want anybody's thumb on, do you, financially?
No.
Correct?
Correct.
Have you made up your mind you don't want anybody's thumb on your children?
Wow.
You made up your mind you don't want anybody's thumb on your children's children? Read the Bible. A rich man leaves an inheritance to his children's children.
Right.
So I'm setting up my life so that no one's got their thumb on me, which they don't. My children, none of my children, they're all financially independent at this age, believe it or not. And now they're going to set up their children to be financially independent. So no one's got their thumb, and no boss, no government, nobody, no ex-partner, ex-spouse that's crazy. They don't need that man. They don't need that woman to support them.
Wow. Absolutely.
That's probably too much information, Josh.
Absolutely amazing. I'm so excited and happy to finally have this documented and to be able to share this time with you, because in my opinion, it is invaluable. And for most people, there's no awareness of it. And once the awareness is there, Bill, which is what you're able to bring to people, and then giving steps on how to progress forward, now we can change the direction of our life. And I know that's the way it was for Tracy and I when we first had the awareness that more was available for somebody like me, that I didn't have to just continue down the same path that everybody else that I had been associated with outside of being an athlete was traveling, that I could change that course and I could learn new things. And the perspective about money is absolutely no different, and even maybe more invaluable as far as the way we think and act towards it. You gave 3 great tangible steps to get started. Get on a diet of reading books about money. Get on a cash diet for the next 90 days. Don't buy anything that's not cash. And number 3 is for the next 10 months, put an extra $100 in your billfold wallet purse so you get $1,000 and walk around with $1,000 to start increasing the money consciousness about what it means to have money. Wow, 3 invaluable steps there, Bill. I think we could go on for hours about this. But let me finish with one last question here. I just want to, again, thank you so much for taking the time to share your life experiences through your teachings, through your books, right? That you write and document for generations to come. And that last question would be this: if you were to go back to your 20-year-old self, right, after 50 plus years in the business of making money and the business of helping others make money, what would you go back to that 20-year-old self and say, now that you know what you know after 50 years?
I would have worked harder and made more money and put more money away. Because making money blesses other people. You have to become a better person. You have to become a more valuable person to make money. It's not I'm making money to make money for the sake of making money. I had to grow as a person. I had to grow I had to had a better attitude. I had to be more committed. I had to have more of a work ethic. I had to be more spiritual. And so I had to be better. I had to grow. And money, again, is a measurement of all that. So when people, all they think about is their own pocketbook, they're very selfish. They don't have to grow. They don't have to make anybody's life better. I just got to take care of me and mine. I just need enough to pay my bills. I just need enough to be happy. Why do you need all this money? Well, see, the point is that people, and let me think something out before we end. You never really see the needs of people until you have money to help them. You're unaware. Did you realize, we've got stories in our company of people that, I've got this friend of mine named Mike Tuttle, and he was down in Mexico, and he sees this woman that he got to know in her family, and her teeth, it was something out of a bad movie. Terrible teeth. I mean, it disfigured her. What would you do? See, what would you do? Oh, that woman, too bad. That's sad. That's too bad. Now, what would you do if you had money? You see the difference there?
Yeah.
And I can send you a picture. I'm going to send you a picture of this before and after this woman.
Wow.
And hopefully we all have stories to tell. You see things instead of, well, the government should do something. Somebody should do something. At least I'm aware of it. I don't have any money to do anything. And that's what a lot of people do. They want to vote for a politician to have him take care of stuff you're not willing to work hard to make money to take care of yourself. God doesn't say, you're doing what I want you to do if you have the heart to want to do it. No, we're supposed to help people. And boy, money can transform people's lives. But you're not aware of it because you don't have enough money. You're just trying to take care of me and mine. And I hope my wife gets a good job so I don't have to work as hard. Hope my kids get a scholarship, right? I hope the government pays off my student loans. You're not having to become a better human being.
Wow. Wow, Bill. Such profound perspective, and something that will benefit anybody and everybody that listens to this video here. And I just, again, want to thank you. I can't wait to do it again. To get on, talk about your new book when it comes out. I would love to do that. And just want to thank you for being such an impactful mentor in our lives, more than you ever know. All of the videos and all of the books we've read from you and your mentorship as far as what it takes to become successful in life, to impact others, and to make sure that we are changing the lives of families in our communities and growing a big business, making a bunch of money, and making sure we've got that correct money mindset to accomplish the goals and dreams we have set forth for ourselves, our team, the families that we serve. So, Bill, you are a legend. Thank you so much. And I look forward to doing it again real soon.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Josh. Say hello to Tracy. I cannot wait to see your kiddo at the University of Oklahoma playing base softball for the University of Oklahoma on TV.
That's right.
We get it all the time.
That's right.
Say hello to your family, Josh. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for asking me. God bless everyone.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.